right, we're live.
Welcome to another episode of Soul Filling, where you get your soul fed. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Kobe.
And today we are going to talk about what it feels like to be stuck and how to get unstuck. Guys, during this time of the pandemic, it has been both beneficial and tragic, but it has given us a lot of time to really reevaluate who we are, what we want to do, and where we're going. It's saying, am I fulfilling my dreams or am I just going with the flow? And so let's get into it, because when we're re-examining ourselves, we often see where the little mistakes are, mistakes in quotation marks, in places that we can do better. And I know a lot of us sometimes feel like, dang, I didn't know this, but I'm stuck. So if you feel that way, or just feel like you're figuring it out, get into this podcast with us, because we got some gems for y'all.
Yes. So I came across this article on Oprah.com, and it is a quiz to basically figure out how can I get unstuck. And the quiz comes from an app called Unstuck, and it was created by the SYP Partners, a company that helps individuals and organizations tap into their full potential. And so they believe that the first step to getting unstuck is to determine your stuck personality, which depends on your temperament and your problem that you're in. So you might be stuck with your weight. It might be a career change that you want to do. It might be, do I buy a house? Do I lease? Do I get an apartment? So whatever the situation is, they believe that the first step to getting unstuck is to figure out your personality type around the circumstances in a situation.
That's
so, yeah.
Yours?
Huh?
You do yours?
I am in the process of doing it, and but I already know like what I am. Like just from me answering the quiz and answering the questions, I can already tell what I am. Yeah, which I'll talk about it as we go through the different personality types.
Look, I'm ready to know them, because I need to know what I am. I'm gonna see if I can.
Right? I'm like, okay, what am I?
I have no. Yes, please share.
I would definitely link this quiz in our show notes so that everyone can have access to it. And you can take it and see what you are. And so the first one is an idol, and this is your idea. You're an ideas machine, a big dreamer, a go-getter. You can do everything, but right now it's hard to do anything. You keep stuttering forward and sputtering back, and it's like you're driving, they say, a stick shift. And so you're just lying there. You have all these plans, and they're just there. So they say that the assignment for this type of person is to harness your energy and get down to the details.
Okay. I feel like
y'all want to add for achiever? No, I definitely want to, give some advice to somebody who might be an idle achiever and, what might help them. Do y'all have anything?
No, I definitely feel like I don't know the rest of them yet, but I definitely
feel
like
so I'll
with mine off top, because there is a lot of things that I do, and I'm a huge dreamer. Like I'm like, do I need 2 lifetimes? Okay, do I need 2 lifetimes to fulfill this? Because a huge dreamer, but I do sometimes feel myself not being able to really execute things like I want to, and it does go to the details, because I look at the big picture so much, and then also just overwhelmed with all the work that I did put on myself. So yeah, I definitely think I don't know the other ones, but I definitely think that's one, and it's right. Like that's some really good advice. Pay attention to the details, because there's some real details I need to focus on to be able to get to the next step in the process.
Exactly. And then also, I think too that, for this type of person, it's good to understand what it is that you're trying to attack within that circumstance, within those situations, and then attack it from highest priority to, lowest priority, or something that is more urgent to, the thing that can kind of wait a bit and you can kind of attack later. And then the other thing is,
Right.
just being intentional. I think for this type of person, you have to be intentional with your day. And really for any type of person, if you are intentional about how you spend your time and what your energy goes towards, then I think it'll be a lot easier to attack certain things. For instance, like if it's money, if you're intentional about, okay, I'm going to place my dollar, once I get paid, I'm going to put my, money towards this debt. I'm going to save this amount and I'm going to live off this amount. If
Mm-hmm.
you're intentional about that, and you still wonder, hey, where did my money go at the end of, the week? And you're like, dang, I don't have nothing left.
Yeah, and I think another thing is that's so true, and we talk about this a lot, is what will make it easier for us idlers is making a plan. Because
Yeah.
like you brought up money is something I feel like I'm very good at with just managing. And so something I am good at. I don't want to say feel like I am good at managing money. And so, but that's because I created a system for where my money goes. And it's very intentional. I'm saving this money for 6 months rent. I'm saving this money for traveling. I'm saving this money for saving or a down payment on a house in the future. And then, this is how much I keep in my checkings and stuff like that. But for other areas in my life, haven't really prioritized my time like I prioritize my money. Like, okay, this time is for this and this time is for that. Right now, it's been to the point where it's like, I'm working on this project 10 minutes, then I'm working on this project, then I'm working on this project for an hour, and then I'm hopping back to this project. And it's been very like, and then when I start doing to like putting my time together at the end, I'm realizing like I'm actually not spending as much time as I thought. It's just that my mind is going all these different places. So if I allot this much time in the morning, 2 hours specifically to this project, 2 hours specifically to this project, and 2 hours specifically to this project, my mind and my energy won't be as drained. And so I think that is very important to, because like even with money, if your money's just going all around, you don't know where it's going, you're confused and you're getting all now you think that it's hard. Now you think that managing money is hard, when really you just have to, like Jasmine and you were saying, Kobe, be intentional about where your energy, your currency is going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just makes me think of the whole right now. We're in an age of multitask, multitask, multitask. And with the idle person, you have a lot of big ideas. And any given time, what it seems a big idea can spark into your mind. And so just as quick as a new idea sparks, you could take the energy off the old idea that you were working on and now be giving energy to the new idea. And like you're saying, being really intentional, seeing the first idea through and then starting on the next idea. So really prioritizing how you use your energy when the new ideas come, because it's a beautiful thing to have these wonderful ideas pop up into your mind. I think that's just amazing, because me, I'm not necessarily the idle mind. I have kind of like a one track mind, if sort of, so to speak. So like a lot of new ideas are not always constantly coming. I'll be like, man, I just need my creative energy to flow. But I can see how it can get a little kind of get imbalanced, if you, so to speak, if you're a new idea comes and then you're not, you don't necessarily finish and follow through that first idea. So just, so I guess the tip I guess I could give to the idle person is to see one idea through, because it's a beautiful thing that you're getting the ideas, but if you don't really harness in and focus in, you will never really see it through.
Mm-hmm. And then
And
the
then
last,
you know,
okay.
And then it's easy to get down on yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't fulfill this plan, but I'm on to the next plan. So yes, y'all, if this ain't my one, I don't know what is.
The last thing that I want to say, it came from an author called Elizabeth Gilbert, and she was just talking about absorption. And she said, please note that absorption is not the same as distraction or obsession. And so whenever she was whenever she was a teenager and she figured out she loved writing, it was because she got absorbed into reading. And so all of her time was absorbed in reading. And this is where she fell in love with, how sentences were placed and how things were done. And so basically I say all of that to say that you have to really absorb yourself into whatever task it is that is at hand, and not get distracted or become obsessed with things that are around you, you know? So when you absorb something, you become that thing, is what she was saying. So you have to become whatever it is that you are working on. But when you become distracted, let's say you're distracted, you're on your phone, scrolling through social media for an hour. After that hour, you are nothing. You have gained nothing. You have accomplished nothing. You are just like, okay, you've lost that hour, you've lost that time. And then when you obsess over something, or when you are, you think about people who are addicted to certain things, and it's just now certain things have consumed your energy, your time, because you've addicted to, food or something. So now your money is being drained into your addiction instead of being intentional about whatever it is you need to be spending your money on, or whatever your goal is. That's the last thing, yes, that I wanted to say for my idle people.
Oh, that's interesting. I thought that was a whole nother, I thought that was absorbing was a whole nother thing, but that might be correct, because I was gonna say for myself, this is funny. Okay, so there's this guy I was talking to, and he was not as nice to me as I wanted him to be. And so he was really mean to me one day. I went over there, and then so I stopped talking to him for a month. Well, we stopped talking to each other. He didn't give a damn about me. But anyways, I really, really liked him. But and so, but during that time, I was really proactive. Like that's when I got my nonprofit. That's when I paid off all my debt. That's like everything. I was grinding. And then when he called back, or like reached out to me again, I was telling him, like, you know what? It's probably a good thing anyway, because I would have been so obsessed with you, absorbed with you and how much I like you. I wouldn't have got all these things done. And then he went on to leave me again. But it's okay, because now I'm still elevating, but I'm saying that to say, like, be aware of like your distractions. And I'm not saying he was a distraction. I know one day I'll fall in love again, and then I don't know how I'm gonna quite handle that in balance with like what I'm doing in my life. Mm-hmm. But I just say all that to say, but in the future, maybe I should think about, how what is gonna happen, like making sure I'm staying focused while living on my mans. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So the next one is a waffler. All right. And they say you're a thoughtful person who considers all the angles. That's why everybody seeks your advice. But now you're overanalyzing, so busy looking that you can't leap. The more time you spend thinking about what you should do, the less able you are to do anything at all. Your assignment is to find something to believe in and commit to it.
Ooh. Lady, right. Say it louder for the people in the back. Wow, they
Overthink
just read my whole life. I don't even know
right?
the rest of them yet, but
Look,
guilty, guilty. And the reason why I say that is because I can see myself like trying to getting stuck in the analysis paralysis stage where I'm trying to read and research and know all that there is to know about a topic, a particular topic, versus just starting. And the last line you said, what was the last line in that? It was so,
Every
so,
time
so
you
good.
keep thinking about what you should do, the less able you are to do anything at all.
Man.
That's me.
Okay, so, and I do this, I'm trying to think of one example to just pinpoint in that I do this for. Okay, so real estate. That's been one thing that I've been trying to harness in and balance with my life, but just learning the steps. And so I was reading about in another one of my real estate books I didn't read, because I just feel like I need to read all of them so I don't make no mistakes. And so I know everything that there is to know about real estate. But in one book, it was teaching me about a particular law in real estate. And the real estate law is the 1041 exchange, if I'm not mistaken. And basically, to just in short, what the law is you can acquire a property from the government, but here's the catch. So say I buy a house and the house is $200,000. The government will give you a match, or they'll give you, I guess, 5 times the amount, so to speak. I'm not giving the full details because of course it's a podcast, but they'll match either that same amount so that you can go invest. The key thing is you have to invest in other real estate properties, either similar or with a greater value. And so, but here's the thing, you have only 45 days to do it, or the deal is off the table. You actually have to close the property deal. And so I was like, I can't get caught in the, trying to figure it out, thinking stage over and over and over again if I want to maximize and optimize on an opportunity like this. So with everything I'm doing now, like whether it's taking my mom to the doctor, where whether it's I'm doing some things for my job that I've made business because I have to get this done by a certain deadline. So what's been helping me, I guess, is a tip that's been helping me with that is like I'm giving myself deadlines for everything now. Like you need a deadline, because I would literally get stuck in the research process, the trying to figure it out, just I don't know, feeling like, oh, I might do it wrong, I'm gonna make a mistake, and of course, like I am gonna make a mistake, and I just have to be okay with knowing that I am gonna make a mistake. But that, sorry, waffle, that me, y'all. That
Yeah,
is
it's
me.
definitely me, because as I was going through the quiz, I definitely this type of person is conflicted and they're indecisive. And it's because we are thinking of each and every option, like it said, I could do this, I could do that. What if this happens? What if that happens? We're thinking of all the possibilities, and it leaves us stuck. Once again, like you said, the analysis paralysis. And so this type of person, they cannot make up their mind, right? You just can't do it. So that's why they said your assignment is to find something you believe in and commit to it. And so that's why, if you go back to our last podcast, we talked about mission statement, coming up with that mission statement and understanding what it is that your purpose is and what it is that you really want. Then it'll help you make decisions a lot easier and faster. And then also it says in here too, remember, not choosing is a choice. So not doing anything, just saying, okay, I'm this problem, you have to make up your mind, commit to it, follow it through, whether as I'm always thinking about, if I spend my money to go get this master's degree and I still can't find a job? What if I go spend, because I see opportunities out there and it might be, oh, you need to have this certificate, you need to have this degree. What if I spend my money on this certificate and I still don't get the, job? I still don't qualify for the job. They still, say I don't have enough experience. But once again, commit to it and follow through.
Also, what I'm learning too is who cares, like not who cares, but like even if it doesn't work, still like apply or still try anyways, because the failures will teach us more. The failures is just a roadmap to where we're supposed to be. And so, when it comes to things like there's some things I don't like that's going on in like my career, and I'm like, I need to be able to speak this up. And my mom's like, you really ain't got nothing to lose, because I don't, so I can go ahead and shoot my shot. So if think about, like, if you really don't have nothing to lose by applying for a job or posting something or whatever it is, or for asking for something, go ahead and do it, because you're gonna learn something from it regardless, and you don't have to think about if I never did this. And I love that it says commit, because sometimes we just don't do it. We halfway commit. And think about, like, I want to say it like this, like, I really been into this question that I saw on, I think, rootedwoman.com, and it was basically saying, what is your relationship with yourself? Are you committed to yourself and to your dreams? It's very easy, I feel like, women, especially knowing you guys, to commit to a person and their needs and their friends' needs and their business needs. But I found myself as well not being as committed to my clients. I mean, I'm way more committed to my clients than I am to myself and my dreams. And so just make sure that commitment is going to you as well.
Yes. And then the last thing I add for this person is to get your options in a row. And that's some advice that they have on here as well. And to do that, you just have to write out the pros and the cons. So like I said, for me, I know one situation that I'm stuck in is just in my career, and just the so many different options and avenues. So if you are in that situation where it's a career decision, list out the pros and cons for each situation, and then make your decision based on that. And then you can be at peace with it. You're like, okay, I made this decision because of this, 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 and this, and I'm happy with it. I know it's a lot. I just started my registry for for the baby, and it is hard. It's a lot of products out there. It's a lot of brands, and y'all, this is the hardest thing for me, because once again, like I said, I'm indecisive, and I like luxury, the look and the style of stuff, but then it might not be as effective or last that long. So it might be cute, but it ain't durable. The wheels suck, and stuff breaking off. But then it might be this something that's really strong and sturdy, and it, as far as strollers, it might last long, but it's, not the cutest, or it's, just, it's all right, So I just have to really go through those pros and those cons and really understand, okay, what is the best? What do I really want out of this stroller? What do I really want out of this car seat? What do I want out of this item that I'm looking to purchase? Whatever it is, you have to list out the pros and the cons and then make your decision and be done with it.
Yes, these are both cute and functional.
Right. Let's do both. Let's do both. You know how we find them deals. You just gotta look around a lot bit.
Right. You're like, this much, but this one is, $600,
Well, because it's a registry. That means you ain't gotta buy it. So pick if you don't go for the stars, and you might land on the moon. That's what my mama say. So look, a story to tell about that. But yeah, just go ahead and put that expensive one on there.
Yeah.
Facts. Y'all can go back and buy the other one. We got to get the ones for the ops.
Yeah.
But no, I did have a question with what you were saying for the waffler. Well, for the waffler, right? And so basically it was saying that in order for you to actually hone in on something, you have to find to decide, because decision and indecision is so easy for you. So in order for you to decide on something, you have to have something to believe in. So I wanted to ask you ladies, what is that thing that has been motivating you, that thing that's your belief, like that you believe, that kind of fuels your why, fuels your purpose, fuels your day-to-day actions and your plan. So what is the thing that you believe in?
That's easy. For me right now, it is, just that financial, that freedom. I know when we talked about it a few podcasts ago, my thing was I want financial freedom. I just want freedom in general. I want to be able to um, build this legacy for myself and for my family. And so I just really try to be intentional when I'm making decisions, from the trivial things all the way to the big, big, big decisions. I am thinking about, okay, is this aligned with, what I want for myself and for my family? Hmm.
Yeah, I really freedom. That must be the word of the year, because Lord, if that ain't what I'm fighting for, I don't know what I am fighting for. But freedom, basically what I believe in, and what I really, really, truly believe in, is abundance, God's abundance. And that is abundance across the spectrum. Peace. Peace is so important. Joy is so important. Love is so important. Family, security, health, and of course this coin in my time. Okay, my time. And so abundance is what I believe in for myself, but I believe in it for everyone else. And that's why what I feel is tied to, that's why it's tied to my purpose. And everything I do is because I want to help serve others, to let them know and give them the tools they need to be able to live their abundant life. I truly want that for everyone, because we're on this like one time. I think we're on this earth like one time, in this body, and like we gotta live it up, bro. Like we got to. I'm sorry, I'm going in, but like we have to live the life we want, a life that's impactful, that makes change, that leaves a legacy, a life that's fun and fulfilling. And y'all, like, soulmates, y'all deserve it so much.
Yes.
Y'all deserve it. Don't think y'all don't. Like, you deserve that.
Yes. 3 things that y'all just said that I literally wrote down was legacy, freedom. I don't even know if y'all said this last one, but generational wealth. And I think that's the same thing as legacy, if you think about it. But those are just some things that I truly, truly believe in. Like, and I don't know, like it really took 2020. As crazy as 2020 has been, I feel like it has been beautiful at the same time, far as just like eye-opening and just like showing me the importance of one family. And me and my family, we've always been close, but like I think because of the distance, it's drawn us even closer. Like, I don't know, just family. I can't say family enough, because I feel like it starts in your own household to inspire the external world, the outside world. And family doesn't necessarily have to be blood. It can be like your close, tight knit of circle, the people that you talk to and you interact with on a day-to-day basis, like the legacy that y'all are building together. I just think it's so much power in that, like so much power. So that has been just motivating me to grow, motivating like everything I do now is just because it makes me move so much more strategic, just because I just really want to build something that's gonna go on for generations to come. And then I would love to just see the domino effect of everyone doing the same thing, because of, you're inspiring another. So I just legacy, freedom, and what was it? Legacy and generational wealth.
Yeah.
The
last thing I'm gonna say to the waffler, I almost. Oh, the last thing I'm gonna say about the waffler is it says to do a gut check. And this is funny. It says to write your options on a little piece of paper and to throw it up and, pick it up off the floor and pick your, whatever option. So let's say you read it and you like, ugh, you're not really happy with that option. Then you know that that's something you don't need to do. So a lot of times, basically, I say that to say a lot of times we kind of know what it is that we want. It's just we might be thinking of other factors. We might be thinking of other people, like, oh, I don't, I know how this, me making this decision is going to make this person feel, or it's going to affect my family, or, affect, what people say or think about me. So a lot of times we know, and we know by how we react to it. For example, I know a lot of times Kyle, he always asks me, what you want to eat? And I'm always thinking about him. I'm like, I know he's trying to eat right. I know right now he's trying to get fine. He about to go to Mexico soon. So, I want to do something healthy. Like I might be craving some pizza or burger, but like I said, I know he's trying to eat healthy. So I might throw something out there. He might throw something out there. And
why is
my
this
reaction,
me?
I really don't want that. Like I know I said I didn't care, but no, that's not it. He was like,
Girl, that is so me. Like you be trying to think about what their taste buds want. Like when they just ask me, what do I want? That is so me. I need to get that together.
So a lot of times it's just to say, look, you know in your heart of hearts, deep down, what it is that you really want. And then
I think that's so tough though. And I'm gonna go. I said I think that's so tough though, and I'm gonna tell y'all why after we're through all the personalities. But yeah, that's
well, it is definitely tough, especially if you marry. You tie. It's different thing. I know that that's tough. Yeah. But yes. So next is the reluctant adapter. And here's what to do if this is the person who really, really hates change. So for you, the definition of contentment is knowing exactly what you believe in and what to expect. Change, on the other hand, sends you spinning. Even if something isn't working anymore, you'd rather keep trying than to plunge into the unknown. So this is the reluctant adapter. And your assignment is to trust in uncertainty. All right. And I can't remember what podcast it was, but I know we talked about changing and I want to say it was our stress reliever one, just talking about the situations. And that was like the first thing to adapt. Like adaptation is going to be key to your survival. If you don't know how to adapt, you are not going to survive out here in this world. So
the thing is,
yeah.
The thing is, like, what's so funny about that is it's not really uncertain. Just kidding. This is petty. It's not uncertain because we know one thing is certain, and that is change. That is always gonna happen. We're always, that one thing we know for sure is change happens. Like evolution happens, and that's how it's supposed to be. So if it makes them feel better, I'm just kidding though.
But yeah, you just said a key thing though, because literally life is the survival of the fittest. Like we just got to put it out there. Like any business that wasn't getting on board with the Zoom calls and wasn't getting on board with the online sales, and you like at a time like this during a pandemic, if you didn't adapt, you got shut down. So it's like we literally have to, like, that's a part of life, like the ebbs and flows, being ready to change with the times and like not go against the grain so much so to the point where it makes you become irrelevant. And so it is something very, very important to do. And I know it just gets so comfy in your little bubble, and you're just going with you didn't took all your time, you done planned and mapped out and strategically made a way of life. And then next thing you know, the whole boat just get flipped around or turned around, and you like, wait a minute, y'all told me to make these plans and I've been strategic, and now all of a sudden I got my plan, I got my way of doing things, and now I gotta switch it up again. But that I remember Tony Robbins saying in one of his business seminar, it was a 7-day online seminar, and it was called the 7 focuses of business mastery. And in one of the 7 focuses was being able to adapt to change. Like if you just think of McDonald's, they always they'll throw in the McRib, and then, you know, they'll put in some chicken wings, like McDonald's making chicken wings, and they take it right back off. But it's just to stay relevant, stay with the time, stay, you know, stay fresh, stay vibrant. And so we have to do that and take that in our day of life and way of life, and to stay relevant and stay, you know, stay fit. And when I say fit, I'm talking about the evolution fit, the survival of the fittest.
Yeah. And then also, I feel like when Kobe, when you were talking about the gut check, I think that's so important, because the thing about change, though, which might ease our hearts, is that God is gonna help you along the way. He's going to tell you when to do something. I truly believe that. And I'm gonna give y'all an example that I missed. And so I think it was a year ago. I don't remember when, but it was maybe a year or so ago. And I was asleep, and and I sleep. And so, and then out of nowhere, like, this book fell. It was a John Osteen book. It fell. It's like these little pamphlets. It just like tipped over, like, real lightly, like, and I woke up, and I just woke up like with so much. I was like, what's, like, it was a very divine feeling. And so I went, and I was like, what woke me up? And I saw that it was the book. So I opened it up. I don't remember exactly what it said, but I knew what God was telling me to do. It was to Tiffany, you need to start your nonprofit. And so I was like, I set up a meeting with our friend Ashley, because I needed her help. I need to figure out some things about, like, Black-owned businesses. So we met up, but I didn't take the step to go ahead and, you know, get the nonprofit off the ground. And this is way before the pandemic happened. And so anyways, you know, and God's been telling me to do this nonprofit since, like, I had the idea a long time ago, like 2-3 years ago. But it wasn't until the pandemic happened that actually took, I actually started doing it, you know, making it happen. And why I'm saying this is so important is because I feel like you really need to act when God is telling you to act. I put my nonprofit to the back burner, but in reality, in hindsight, and I'm looking back, I was like, dang, if I really would have started my nonprofit back then, I would not only have money to be able to, from like the PPP loans and all this stuff that the government is giving small businesses, and then now Black-owned businesses, to all these different grants. And then even just the temperature of what's going on in the world, I feel like the nonprofit would have been just like super popping right now. Like, I feel that way. But I'm just saying, you know, sometimes we don't want to change our routine. Sometimes we don't want to take on these extra things. But when God says act, you act. And I'm not saying that when you miss I don't feel like you can miss something, but I feel like it might take longer to come back around for that moment to happen again. But I'm just trying to save y'all from what I didn't really go through anything, but I'm just want to save y'all from y'all's, when God's telling you to do something, I really want you guys to listen to it and act on it right then and there, you know?
Yes.
That's good.
That is, because, I mean, yeah, you said it. But,
Yeah.
yeah, change is the only thing that is constant, y'all. And when you are forced with a situation where you have to change, I think that is going to be the thing that, like, that the person who struggles with change, you're going to have to get to that place. And it's a quote that I kind of say all the time, and I always mess it up, but your pain of staying the same is going to have to be greater than your pain of changing. So whatever it is, if you are trying to lose weight, if you are stuck in a marriage, whatever it is, I know that there are going to be some fears about this new lifestyle and the requirements that is going to take to fit into this new change. And it can be scary. It can be hard, but you have to really think about the not really focus on, what the changes that you have to make, but really focus on the outcome of what will happen if I do make these changes, and what will be different. What is the opportunity here? What can I gain? Okay, if I leave this situation, yes, I know my kids are going to be upset. My kids are going to be hurt from this. I'm not going to have anyone to lean on and to talk to anymore. I'm going to be by myself. It's going to be a little bit harder. I know I was depending on this person, and their income to help me out. I might have to pick up a new job, whatever it is, but I gain my happiness, my peace of mind. I don't have to worry anymore. I don't have to cry, myself to sleep. I don't have to sleep in this bed alone, or, I don't have to put my kids through this anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever it is, you have to think about what is here to, what am I gaining from this change? Yeah, I don't like vegetables. I want to lose weight. I don't like vegetables. I like fried chicken. I like eating what I want to eat. I don't like nobody telling me what to do. I don't like sweating, whatever it is. I know how people are. I know how y'all is. I know how y'all kids. But do you want to look fine in your bikini? Do you want to be healthy and happy and flourishing? Right? Do you want to live your best life, or do you want to be out here scared? You're not going nowhere. You're not going to happy hour with your friends. You're not going out because you ain't got no clothes, you can't fit nothing, you insecure, and you unhappy.
Mm.
All you have to
get
do is
sick.
eat right, diet, exercise, get that mental health in order, and you'll start to see some changes in your life.
I love that that was key, focusing on the outcome, because a lot of times we don't want to change and it don't even make sense because we're not even happy where we're at. Like what is and I really, like, yesterday I was driving home and I was really talking to myself like, damn, like, you scary AF. Like, you scary. Like, you honestly so scary. Like, I have a lot of these even though I feel like I'm the first one, I definitely am I definitely could take from all of these, and these are really helping me, like these
Same.
things that you could change. And but what I'm saying is, like, I'm scared, and though I'm happy and joyful and I have God's peace and love and joy, there's things I want to change, but it's really, really hard to let go of some things. It's really hard to let go of some things and start something new.
No.
But at the end of the day, I gotta do it anyways.
And that's the thing. Whenever you're stuck in whatever situation, it is key to come back to this quiz, because it might be easy for you to, or you might be decisive in one area, but you might be indecisive in another. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to change in one area, but you might not be able to adjust and be able to change as quick in other areas. So you are this quiz, bookmark it, save it, baby, you're gonna need it when whatever situation you stuck in, because we're all different areas of our lives. We might be inspired in one area, but not as inspired to do other things. So.
True.
When you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you will change, you will move. Yes. But sometimes I ask myself, like, I don't want to reach a rock bottom point to motivate me to move. Like, I just need to do the shit. Like, I know better. Like, you know better. And like you were saying, we know, you know what you know. It's just a matter of moving with that no. And I think you said it earlier best, to do nothing is still equally as bad as doing something and failing. I mean, and it's not even bad when you fail, but I definitely can say I've been there. I've been all of it.
That is me. I am the type of person to wait till I'm busting out of my jeans to be like, all right, okay, I gotta change my eating habits. All right, I ain't got no money in my account. I ain't got no.
Man, I'm in the negatives.
Right, let me go and get right. So yes, no, you do not want to be that person. That was the hard-headed, young, 18 to 20, 21-year-old me. I did to change. I was stuck in my ways. I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I was like, I'm young. I got time. I can do this. And no, get it together.
Not thinking about anything but today.
Exactly.
I wanted to when you were talking about when y'all were talking about hitting rock bottom though. And that's so true. You don't want to hit rock bottom. And I wanted to bring up the scripture, and I hope it's the right one. But it says, humble yourselves then under God's mighty hand, so that he will lift you up in his own good time. Leave all your worries with him because he cares for you. And so humble yourselves, and give it to God. But what I'm saying is you have to humble yourself before God humbles you. He will bring you to rock bottom so that you can change. So he's saying, look, humble yourself now, make that change, and let your worries go to me, because I got you. Or sorry, baby girl, you ain't gonna have no choice, because I'm gonna have to bring you to rock bottom so you could fulfill the purpose I have for you. So it's just like you said, I don't want to hit rock bottom first. God, I'm gonna humble myself, because I don't want you to humble. I'm good. Leave me. The worries are for you.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
All right, so our next one, you have 3 more, and the next one is a lone leader. Okay, lone leader. You love being the one with all the answers and making everything look easy. The only area where you don't excel, asking for help. But no woman is an island, and sometimes you need support to take the next step. Your assignment, give yourself a break and let someone else help, sis. Let someone else help, brother. You gotta carry all this on your own. Have everything on your shoulders. I know you're strong. I know you a strong Black man and woman, but you gotta do this by yourself. Okay.
Ooh, this one here, this was me about a couple months ago, and what broke this in me, it was a couple things. I had them humbling moments. But okay, so I was on the phone with my friend from school, Nancy, and we was talking about just catching up, how you doing business, how you doing relationship, all the things, career, all that stuff. And, I was just feeling so overwhelmed. Like, I'm just trying to do this, trying to do that. And then, we started talking about bass. And then, I don't know, I was complaining about something. I don't know. I think it was maybe like, I can't even remember what it was. It was something so petty though, like could have been taken out the trash or something like that. And then she said something that was so profound. And to this day, it stuck. So basically, because we were very, very similar in as of how we like independent, we want to do everything, get it done. Oh, any cleanup, I'm gonna just do it myself instead of just asking. And so what she said was like something just came up in like her mind, like out of nowhere, like with Tiffany, with the book. She was like, I had a redefining moment. And I was like, what was it? She's like, something just came in my head and it said to follow him. I was like, that's deep. And she was like, and that means, and what she was saying, it was like, as in the aspect of following her mate. And I was like, I think that means 2 things, girl. I think you got to follow Bae and follow God. And so, but more importantly, because I know a lot of women, we have this grandiose, I can do it all, I'm an independent woman, this and the third, but and a lot of times just our naturally motherly, like, we want to tell everybody what to do and how to do it, and I do it the way I say do it, because I know the most perfect way. So you be trying to tell Bae how to do it. And so she was just like, it came to me, just follow him. If you tell him to take out the trash or to fold the clothes, like, don't try to micromanage and tell him how to do it the way you want to do it. Just follow him. Let him do it. As long as it gets done, then we good. I'm like, you know what? That is a redefine. Like, that was the hugest, most tidbit. And then I started just using that with everything. Like, oh, follow him. Like, oh, you got it. And then you'll be surprised how it changes the psychology of feeling like I have to lead because now I can follow. And following is not also always a bad thing. Like, I know every time in class we're taught to be the leader. You want to be the live leader. Or even if you're doing an assignment in school, you're taught not to collaborate. Collaborating is cheating. You want to do it all by yourself. You want to be the smartest. But really, in anything in life where someone is going really far, you need a team, a collective pieces. Sometimes you may have to follow that team lead. If you have an accountant and you don't know nothing about accounting, you're gonna have to follow that accountant. If you have an architect, you're gonna have to follow that architect. If you're not knowledgeable in a certain area, you're gonna need to be quiet and put your listening ears on and not try to lead everything. So I was just like, I have been applying that follow him, and not just in my relationship, but if it's a business or if it's just a relationship with your family, like following them, letting them lead, see what you want to watch on TV, little things like that. And it's caused me to just delegate a lot more smoother, allow me to take my hands off of things and not like, because sometimes we get in this idea where we want things to be perfect, done a perfect way and done the way you think, but our way is not the end all be all. Like, just because it's done differently doesn't mean that it's done wrong. And so just being able to open my mind and open who I am to the different possibilities of what others want to bring into my life. And I just feel like it's been a beautiful experience just following and not trying to lead everything in life. So
I like that. I want to add follow, capital H, him. Because baby, sometimes we are in situations and we don't even want to ask God for help. We got to follow capital H, him.
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 Yes.
Yes. I like that.
I love that. Follow him. I love it.
I love that because I had to thank you, because that's so funny. Someone was asking me like, how are things going? And y'all know I've been doing the most lately. I'm like, yeah, I've been doing this and doing that. And I'm like, I don't know if I should do that. And he was like, well, have you prayed about it? And I'm like, what you say? He's like, I'm gonna send you a sermon. I said, okay. So I watched it. But yeah, like, we don't be following the one who got the answers. We ain't got the answers, Sway. Okay, God has answers. That's what Kanye was trying to say. But that's one thing. But going like following like people, I think is very beneficial. Because it's beneficial for us because we learn and we have to know when to follow and when to lead. Right now, I'm doing a lot of following because I'm in a learning stage right now. And then also it's really nice to let people lead. And I think it's very empowering for yourself, but also very empowering for that person, because, when someone tells you, oh no, like, I'm following you, like, oh, you following me? That means you trust me. That means you respect me. That means that you value me in my decision making. So just think about if you talk to your man and you's like, you ain't doing it right. Oh, let me just do this. That's more so of like saying, I don't trust you. I don't trust the way you lead. I think I could do better. And, a lot of times, especially as Black women, we always say that we want to be led, but are we allowing them to lead us? And even friends, even friendship, like allowing, for soulfully, for example, I was trying to, do all the emailing and stuff like that. I mean, of course, ask for help as well. But when Kobe took up the lead in emailing people and reaching out to people, I'm like, hell yeah, like, she got this. I ain't doing nothing. I was like, bro, like, this feels good. And I love that sometimes I could just follow, and you just be amazed by when people are leading, it makes everything better. It just makes stuff easier for your life, because you're supposed to lead where God wants you to lead. You're not supposed to lead in every area of your life. And I damn sure don't want to lead in my relationship, future one. Yeah.
This is one of mine. This is one of mine because I am a person who does not. I don't, and it's the independent woman in me. It's a strong Black woman. I do not like asking for help. I just don't. And for the lone leader, that is one of the things that they advise is you have to learn how to ask because a lot of, and whether it's whatever your reasons, I know some people just feel like I can do it on my own, but there's only so much you can do on your own, right? And then there's only so much you can have on your plate. Sometimes you are just spread too thin, baby. So you just got to ask for help just because you're like, I have a lot on my plate. And I know that that was one thing that was so hard for my mom to do is, she just felt like, I don't want to ask my kids for help. I don't want to ask them to cook dinner. I don't want to have to ask them to, go pick your sister up or, can you help me out here? Because I have a lot going on here at work. Sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. You have to learn how to.
And another thing on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, go ahead. Okay. No, I was just gonna say with that, you have to just like Tiff said earlier, humble yourself. It can be as simple as saying, hey, I admire how you're so motivated and you work out and you eat healthy. How do you do it? How can you help me out? I'm trying to lose weight and I just need help. And I admire how how healthy you are and happy you are in your life. Just it could be as simple as asking that. You have to I know sometimes we are like with our backs against the wall, and it's like you're forced sometimes to ask people for help, and you letting them know, hey, I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to ask you for help, but I'm forced to. My hand is tied. I just gotta ask you. And you can't come at people like that. Like that's unacceptable because then that person's gonna be like, nah, they're not gonna want to help you.
No, and that's this is
Yeah.
It's just that.
Yeah, go ahead.
For me, it's really hard to ask for help because I don't like to ask people for things. I don't want to be a burden. I don't, especially if I'm not paying you, like I don't want to ask you for nothing. But you'll be surprised when people believe in you and believe in your mission and your purpose, how much they are willing to help you. And and I think that's something that y'all are gonna have to help me with because I don't like asking for money. I don't like asking for donations. If I could do all the Soul Filling podcast stuff for free, I would probably want that. I'm like, I would want everything to be free, the live shows, but it can't. We put so much money and time and things of that nature. And so for me, it's the thing. I don't know. It's just like I really don't like feeling like a burden to someone else when I have to realize that people want to help and people are happy to help.
Right. And that's the thing. That's what it's about. We have to get it out of our minds into thinking that it's a burden for people to help us. Because I personally used to think that same thing. Like, I'm putting too much on this person. I'm taking from them or, whatever the case may be. Or another thing, I feel like if you see I'm doing, and this is changing gears a little bit. If you see I'm doing all this, and this kind of ties into when Kobe was talking about her mom not wanting to ask for help. It's like, you see I'm doing all this around the house. I just automatically feel like y'all should offer your services. Like y'all should, like people can read your mind and know that you're overwhelmed. And Jarvis always asks me like, babe, you could have just asked. Like he'll like, and it's funny now, he'll just wait. And he know that I need help. Like I'll be carrying something in the house or anything. He'd be like, so I was just waiting on you to see what you was going to ask. I was like, oh, you could have just offered. He's like, or you could have just asked. I'm like, okay, I see what you did there. Because like, I just, like you said, I just did not like asking. And I'm slowly, like, it's a huge power in asking, guys. And like Kobe was saying, it's the way you ask. Don't like be on a down and out and like you saying, I really ain't want to ask you. But if you word it and dress it up, like, it would be an honor for you to come in and join in and step into this project and help me with this and to shine your expertise or whatever. It doesn't necessarily have to be a mind-boggling burden for you to ask someone for help. It can be a moment of inspiration and collaboration. So I definitely think we got to put that pride aside and start asking, because I'm reading this Robert Kiyosaki book. He got like 1 million books. I know every podcast they be like, you always read a Robert Kiyosaki book, but he has like 1 million books and they like 11 hours long. So I'm still working on the same one. But basically he created the cash flow game, and we just bought it, so we don't have to have a game night when all this clear up. But in the book, he basically talks about, you have to, like, for business, because it's a business game, it teaches you how to ask and bargain and make, group collective decisions. So he said, it'll be a point in the game where it's just 20 minutes of you like trying to collaborate with your teammates, asking them to give you this in exchange for that. But if you never ask, then you gonna opt out the game real quick. So he said the point of the game is to make people better collaborators, because that's what we have to do in life. You want a business plan. If you want someone to shop at your business, you're asking them to buy these services, to buy this product, to use what you have to offer. So anything in life is asking someone to do something for you. So we got to get comfortable and reprogram that independent, I can do it all by myself, to I love working with other people. I love asking other people to help, because they love helping and I love helping them.
I love that. That needs to be an affirmation. Yeah. And then the last thing I want to say on like asking is,
and it doesn't have to.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
No.
I was just saying the last little thing is about asking is being specific. I think sometimes we kind of like beat around the bush when we're asking, can you help around the house more? I was really enjoying that. Can you do the dishes and mow the lawn? Take out your trash, let me know, because I'm on one track on what I'm doing. So I need specific things.
Yes, exactly what I was going to say. I was like, it doesn't have to be something, because I know a lot of a reason people don't ask for help is because they don't want to seem, like you said, a burden. They don't want to seem desperate. They don't want to seem, all these things, right? But just take all of that out your mind and just be clear and concise. Hey, this is what's going on. This is the situation. This is what I need. Are you, could you be of assistance? Yes or no? And if they are, hey, thank you. If they not, thank you.
Right.
I love that. Way.
Clear and concise. That's powerful. That's powerful.
Hey, I am, in the job market and I need help with, my resume. Are you able to assist me with this? I know you've recently, switched jobs and you've done this and you've been able to, maneuver in the job market. And I admire that. Can you help me with my resume? Can you take a look at it? I can email it. I have a paper copy, whatever is easy for you. So simple. Good. But just learn how to ask, okay? Lone leaders.
And accept that. And accept help when it's offered too, because sometimes people will reach out to you. I remember, and this has changed my life. Shout out to Howard University. I was applying for this job on campus or some type of internship, and I had to send it through this program called Annenberg. And someone, I don't even remember her name, she called me up and was like, I want to help you on your resume. She literally did my entire resume and the format and everything. And that's what I used to get my first, second, third, fourth job. I just remade my resume during the pandemic. But had she not helped me, had I not accepted the help, Lord, it might have been, I might have still had that little rinky-dink resume that was a high school based one, But so I'm saying accept the help that people are trying to extend to you, because they might be that might be an expertise. They might be seeing something that you can't see, and that's your blessing. That was a real blessing. I wish I remember that lady's name, because she changed my life.
Wow, yes. That's good. Accept the help that's offered, because a lot of times we can be I got this. No, don't worry about it, because you think you take it from that person. Oh, they're trying to offer you something. Oh, no, it's good. I'm good. And then the moment you do that, I don't know, it said it somewhere in the Bible, but basically when you shut off the hand that's being given to you, you blocking future blessings to come. Because like God, like I just tried to give you a blessing and you just cut it off, shut it down. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get it to somebody else, and then the next one is somebody else, and the next one is somebody else. But I have learned that, like, and I can't remember who it was. It was this guy back when I was in college, and he was an older guy, like he was like an uncle, a grandpa, and he was giving the team like some groceries and all kind of stuff. And I was just like, no, I don't need that. I don't need my refrigerator stocked. I didn't say this. I was thinking this in my mind, like, we good at the house. He was like, you never ever turn down anything someone gives you. I was like, whoa. He's like, never turn down money, food, items. Even if you don't need it, you always accept it and give it to someone else and be a blessing to them. He was like, because you will shut your blessings down. I was like, I'm thinking I was trying to help you so you can have more to give to everybody else. He was like, don't worry about everybody else. Everybody else gonna get it if it's meant for them. And I was like, that moment, anytime, even if I know you down to your last and you want to give me $5 and you got 10, I'm like, okay, I gotta accept this even though I don't want to. But it's because it's coming back to that person and coming back to you as well. So don't feel like you're taking from someone or you're taking their last or whatever the case may be. Just accept and receive. Like, to be a receiver, that's a powerful energy. It's a feminine energy, and to receive things. So I'll be like, let me tap into my feminine energy and being able to receive. Like, giving is a masculine energy and feminine, receiving is a feminine energy. So being able to receive, tap into your divine goddess and receive the blessings God want to give to you. Like, always when I'm writing my affirmations, when I'm doing a full moon ritual, I'm always asking, like, God, allow me to be to receive all the blessings you want to give to me. Because sometimes I'll be, asking, but then when it comes, you close, you're not open to or receptive to receiving what God has given us. Little or small. I mean, big or small, little or small.
I actually just blocked a tiny little blessing. And now I'm like, damn, I'm real masculine. If you want to give me a gift, I was trying to help. Anyways, I was trying to help them out.
We have 2 more, okay? The next one is a deflated. You're happiest when you're productive, checking off tasks one by one. But lately, the daily grind is grinding away your sense of purpose. You plan to find more meaning in life as soon as you get to the bottom of your to-do list. So your assignment is to rise above and find inspiration. Okay, the deflated doer. And this one is just really about, like I said, they're more concentrated on a to-do list than, their purpose. So if you're the type of person who is, you just feel you just feel like you're just rolling with emotions and you're just going through your day, it's just like I said, just checking off a to-do list. Like, you're not living your life on purpose. You're not living your life with meaning. You don't have that mission statement yet. Then you need to really sit down with yourself. You're uninspired. Then yeah, you really have to sit down and just do the work. Find your inspiration.
That's good. That's really good. I have been there. That checking off to-do list person, like, oh, let me get my list. And when you look at your list, you feeling all accomplished, like, let me pat myself on the back. But then meanwhile, you're doing the day-to-day task, but you don't have an overall big picture. It's like, you get in the car, you making turns and driving and going to this stoplight but then where you driving for 20 minutes and don't know where you're going. Like, where's your overall ultimate goal, your chief aim, your destination? I definitely think that's important to get a handle on. Like, what is it that you want? What is it that fuels your fire so that it does bring more meaning to your life?
And I think that is like,
yeah, go ahead.
I was saying, I think that's a real, I'm going to keep using that gut check because I really like that. I think I'm going to throw some things in the air and see how I feel when I pick up one. But like yesterday, shout out to me. I'm celebrating myself, but I murdered my checked off everything. but and then I went for my walk because I'll be trying to do everything by 6 or 7. And then I went for my walk, and as I was driving to go to Herman Park, I was like, ooh, I checked off everything. Why am I feeling this way? I felt weird. I felt like some anxiety. And I was like, okay, Tiff, are you doing what you're supposed to do? And I can't even right now, you know, that's fresh. That was yesterday. And I don't know. I mean, I ended up being happier as I was walking and just enjoying life and stuff like that. But I'm just saying that to say, just because you're checking off a list and you accomplished and smashed the day, at the end of the day, how are you feeling? Are you filled up? You know? And so I think those are the moments that is, you know, we always talk about listening to your emotions, because your emotions are there to tell you something. Something must have been off. And I still haven't pinpointed it because I'm like, cool, yeah, like my jobs, all my jobs help others. Like, it's to help others. And so I still have to, there must be something else deeper that I need to be working on as well. So
Yes. And this person, you know, what they suggest is that you, you know, take a walk, really just take that time to sit and reflect and not just focus on, you know, the day to day. So I know a lot of times we talk about, hey, for some people, you have to, you know, steady down and focus on your day to day. But for this person, it's the opposite. You want to take a step back from just that day to day and look at the bigger picture. Figure out what does that bigger picture look like, and asking yourself those big questions. What do I want out of life? Why am I here? Why am I on this earth? Why do I live where I live? You know, why do I do what I do? Why do I buy the things that I buy? And just, you know, really asking yourself those questions. Why do certain things bother me? And just really getting down to the core of who you are and, you know, what it is that you want out of life. You know, when am I happiest? What am I doing when I am at, you know, my happiest? And really tapping into those things.
oh my God, I realized I do know what I did figure it out, but it's a little personal. But yes, but you do have
Anything else? I deflated dinner.
yeah.
We do have to what? What did you say?
Oh, I was saying, yeah, you know, now that I'm thinking about like I did figure it out, and I do know what I needed to do. But that's when I realized, remember I was telling y'all earlier, I was like, oh, you scary. Oh, you really scary. Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Shout out to let me reflect on some things.
Yes. All right. And so our very last one is a tunnel visionary. And you're used to being in the loop and on top of things, but somehow you've lost your sense of perspective. And now all you can see is what's right in front of you. Even little setbacks can bring you a screeching halt. Possibilities seem as open as they once did. So this is our tunnel visionary. And your assignment is to step back, widen your view of the world. And they advise that you look at old things in new ways. And just ask yourself, how would you respond to different situations? Ask yourself those what if questions. And this one is a little hard. I don't know. You have to take the quiz for this one and just really see. You know, I don't know. This is the one that I was just like, I don't, you know, I can't really do. I don't know.
I think I may get it. Can you read it one more time? Because I think I have something.
So if you're feeling a bit like a tunnel vision, give this a try. And it says you're used to being in the loop on top of things, but somehow you've lost your sense of perspective. And now all you can see is what's right in front of you. Even little setbacks can bring you a screeching halt. Why don't the possibilities seem as open as they once did?
Oh, this kind of makes me think of, and this is a little different, but I think we'll tie it all together. Like a person, let's say for instance, if someone is in a relationship, since we love talking about relationships. And let's say you have a bad experience in this relationship. And at first, you was love, you believe in love, and you stand on love, and love is what you believe in. And then a bad situation happens because you was on top of love at first, and then a bad situation happens and it causes you to damper your faith in love, your belief. And then you get to the point like, oh man, cheat, or you think very pessimistically about the situation now. And it's because of that one bad or the few bad experiences has caused you to alter the way you once believed. So now you just have this one track view of what you think it should be. But I think for a person that does have tunnel vision because of, like you said, one decision could cause you to, I forget what it said in the quote, but basically just to cause you to give up, kind of, so to speak. And to keep you from giving up, I think it's important to know that, and I'm getting this from another one of Robert Kiyosaki books, but he basically talked about how in life, I don't want to sound pessimistic or realist because I'm typically an optimistic person, but in life, there are going to be situations, people that just simply do things that when you look at the whole thing, it doesn't have your best interests at heart, and you don't fall on the right side of the scenario, and you're a good person, so to speak, but somehow the outcome of the situation just didn't work for your favor. And so with knowing that it may come a time in your life that you do face a situation like that, but that doesn't have to change who you are and how much you value, whether if you go to a business deal and someone, messes over you in the business deal and ends up ripping you off. It doesn't mean that business is bad. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't pursue business anymore. It doesn't mean that you should give up and think that, business is just not for me, or relationships are just not for me, or having a dog is not for me because my dog ripped up my couch, and, whatever the case may be. I think understanding that life may throw you situations that we don't necessarily agree with, or may hurt a little bit more than what we wanted to, but it doesn't mean to get so, caught in on what has happened and feel like that's the only reality, and to the point where you just kind of get on autopilot and just feel like, there's no escape. There's no light at the end of this tunnel.
Right.
But that's what
I'll put myself on mute. Girl, I was trying to open myself and I put myself on mute. But yeah, I totally agree. I agree with that. I think this person is, and I ain't gonna just be throwing Capricorns under the bus, but one Capricorn I know was so tunnel vision that there wasn't even time to look at the rest of the world. Like, I have to get to this point, I have to get to this point, and nothing's gonna stop me. But sometimes that's not where you're supposed to go. So if you're so focused on this one thing, this one way, when you know how God is, detours along the way to get to where he really thinks you should be, where he knows you need to be. And so when those bumps come in and you're like, oh, this ain't, oh, I'm not getting the job, oh, I got laid off, or ooh, like, you're like, what am I doing with my life? Because I put all my focus right here instead of really looking at the bigger picture. So that's why I feel like some people get stuck when you're on that one thing. You're gonna be stuck if something doesn't go right. It goes back to the person that doesn't want anything to change. We have to be flexible and adapt to what God's will is for our lives. I pray to God that my desires align with his will and purpose for my life, and I feel like they do currently.
And I was sitting here rereading it, and the things that, really stuck out to me was, you've lost your sense of perspective. Your possibilities don't seem as open as they once did. And so for me, this one seems like the opposite of, the waffler, right? Like that person is thinking about all the possibilities, and they, so this person has, lost the sense of that. So what they suggest is for, to look at your situation from different people's perspectives. Look at it from a perspective of a child. Look at it from the perspective of an older person, a hippie, your grandmother, or go ask these different people, hey, tell them your story, tell them what's going on. What would you do in this situation? So that you can get other people's perspective, and you're not just, coming at it from how you think, and just, you're missing all the different possibilities and all the different ways that you can maneuver this situation. So that's what I got from it, as I, kept looking at it and like, I'm really trying to understand this tunnel vision person. And I think that's what it is.
That's why it's tough for us.
Right? I'm just thinking about all the possibilities. So me, you are the look, we need to sit down. I need to share to you all the possibilities, and you need to tell me the one thing that you see from this situation.
We need to work together.
Right. Man. I need to with the tunnel visioner, okay?
Boy. Right. I just
y'all hit me up. Men and women, they committed, and they telling us we need to be more committed.
That part.
In front of your face, it's obvious. It's right there.
Like, you can't see that? Boy, I think the most important part for the person that is a tunnel visioner is to remain optimistic and know that there is light on the other side of the tunnel, and to not get so in your head when things don't go that one way.
Right. Right.
That is all our.
That's it. Alrighty, y'all.
Okay, that's all our stuck personalities.
Look, a whole podcast, and I loved it.
I loved it. Alrighty, y'all. So I needed that too. What time is it, y'all? It's affirmation time. It's affirmation time. It's affirmation time. Y'all, if this is your first time tuning in on the Soul Filling Podcast, we always end our podcast with a positive affirmation. So what the heck is an affirmation? An affirmation is any statement that you are using to transform your life. Either you're transforming your life for the good, or you're transforming your life for the not so good. In the Bible, it states, let the weak say, I am strong. So on them days when you're feeling bad, you're feeling sick and tired, down and out, all those negative emotions, you still have to speak power over the situation, over your life. One more Bible verse for y'all. In Proverbs 13, it says, he who keepeth his mouth keepeth his life, but he who opens his lips wide shall have destruction. So don't just be letting anything fly at your mouth. You want to keep a guard on that thing, and be very intentional about the words that we speak. So I'm affirming that there is millions, billions, trillions of y'all out there tuned in, and it's 3 of us, and we're gonna go ahead and end this thing off right with our positive affirmations. Who wants to go first?
I don't know what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna say I think I'm about to steal something that you said, Jazz, in the podcast. So I am using my feminine energy to receive all that God has for me.
Ooh, I'm stealing that. Stealing it back.
Okay, now I get why people say that. I receive it. I said, you know how people always, when people are saying something, they're like, I received that. So now it has more meaning. Like, I received that affirmation. Yes.
Yes. Okay. 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 I received that. Yes. For me, I am flowing in perfect harmony with every divine opportunity that God wants to pour into my life.
Yes. For my wafflers and my people who don't, want to adapt to the change, this one is for y'all, okay? I am undergoing a powerful transformation. I commit and I don't quit.
I received that too.
Received and received. All right.
It's for me, and for me.
All right, guys, let us know your affirmations below if you're watching us live, or even if you're not, put it in the comment section wherever you're listening to us at. And we're listening, we are on all these different platforms: SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and Google. So please leave a comment below and let us know your affirmations. But more specifically, if you are listening to us on Apple Podcasts, you got to give us a 5-star ranking and write something soulful and sweet. We absolutely love when y'all leave comments.
Love them.
So yeah. And then we also are asking for you guys to donate.
Yes, y'all go head over to our Patreon. If you haven't done so already, if you've been listening, getting all these free gems, go ahead and help some sisters out. If something touched you, moved you, anything that spoke to your soul, go and fill our souls and pockets along with, just really though, guys, seriously, just if we touched you, moved you in any way, bless us, send a blessing. We sending blessings back. No amount is too small. No amount is too large either. So give from your heart. And we love y'all. Until next time, soulmates. Bye.
Thank you guys so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.